my name is Erica Rascon. Thank you for joining me for class today. We are going to work on a quick flow and some breath work that'll help to boost our energy. This can be a really good way to start your day, and it can also help to get you through a midday slump. So let's get started. Come to the front of your space, whether that's a yoga mat or just your room. Take your feet so that they touch and your middle toes face forward. Inhale, bring both arms up overhead, take a little back bend. Bring your sternum towards the ceiling. Let your gaze face up and draw your shoulder blades together. Really start to open your heart. And then as you exhale, maybe you hinge at your hips, take your hips back and come to a forward bend. Now the temptation here is to bring your hands to the floor. Think about bringing your ribs to your knees. So even if that means bending your knees, go ahead and bend the knees. Let your head drop. Take a few breaths here. Maybe straighten the legs just a little, but be sure to maintain the connection between the ribs and the thighs. To come up, take your hands to your hips, your elbows to the ceiling, and lift with a flat back. That method of raising up is going to be really good for people, especially if you have any sort of low back sensitivity. It's better than coming up with a rounded spine. So let's go ahead and take the hands to the hips. Step your right foot as far back as you can, maybe at least a leg's length distance, and then lift both of your arms up. Bend your knees so that your front knee is stacked right over your front ankle, and lift your back knee away from the floor as much as you can. It's okay if there's a little bend in the knee, especially if you have tight hip flexors, but we want to aim to get that leg straight. You can open the heart towards the ceiling again. Take the shoulders back, a little back bend here. Final breath. Take your hands to your hips and start to take little steps towards the front of your mat. We'll do the same thing on the other side. This time we're taking our left foot all the way towards the back of our space, squaring your hips forward, bending deeply into the front knee so that the knee is more or less over your ankle. We're lifting the back knee away from the ground and pressing firmly into the ball of the back foot. Inhale to lengthen both of your arms up overhead. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Open your heart towards the ceiling. Straighten your arms to capacity. And if the shoulders are a little tight, maybe take your V wider away from your ears. But if you want more of a stretch, bring the arms in closer to your ears. To come out of the posture, take your hands to your hips and start to walk your back foot in little by little. We'll then repeat the beginning of that sequence. So inhale to take your arms up overhead, little back bend. Exhale, hinge at the hips, glue your thighs and your ribs together as you forward fold. Let the head drop. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Take one more breath here. And then use an inhalation. Bring your hands onto the ground if they weren't already. Step your right foot towards the back of your space. Lower your right knee down towards the mat. We're going to come into a low lunge to start. So begin by stacking your hips over your back knee. Then you can start to shift your hips slightly forward, but keep the ribs and the hips stacked. When you start to feel that lengthening sensation in the front of the hip flexor, that's maybe a good spot for you. So you can take your hands together behind your back, squeeze your elbows and your shoulders together, and start to straighten the arms a little. Maybe straighten the arms a little more. Maybe take more of a back bend, but only go as far as it feels good. If your breath becomes shallow, pull back. Final breath. And then take your hands to your hips. Then lower the hands down to the floor and step your right foot forward. We'll switch sides. Left foot goes back. Left knee comes down to the mat. Start by stacking the hips over the knee. See how that feels. If this is already good for you, work in this space. If you want a little bit more, start to bring your hips down and forward towards your right knee, but still keep the ribs over your hip points. You can interlace your hands again. This time, interlace your fingers the awkward way, the way that just doesn't feel normal. Squeeze the elbows and shoulders together. Start to straighten the arms to capacity. Maybe lift the gaze. Heart openers are a great way to increase our energy and to boost our mood. Start to help us feel more open and receptive to what the day has ahead. One more breath here. And then take your hands down towards the mat. Lift your back knee, step forward, and take another forward fold, please. This time you might interlace opposite hands to your elbow and just sort of swing side to side. Awesome. To come up, take your hands to your hips, elbows to the ceiling. Come up with a flat, strong back. Great. So you got a little bit of movement flow. We'll do just 2 more before we move into our breath work. So come towards the center of your mat and bring your big toes so that they touch or get as close as they comfortably can. You're then going to cross your right leg in front of your left. You might need to bring the feet further apart to make more space for your thighs. Rotate your hips so that they're both facing forward, and then interlace your hands overhead. Flip your palms up and stretch. If this already feels good, work here in this space. If you want a little bit more sensation for the side body, maybe you extend and then start to hinge your upper body off towards your left. Maybe you take your gaze up. Inhale to come up. Exhale to release the hands and switch sides. So this time you'll take your left foot forward. Make as much space as you need to for the thighs, but be sure that you can evenly press your feet, like all 4 corners of your feet, down into the mat. Interlace your hands overhead the awkward way. Flip your wrist up towards the ceiling. Stretch and pause here if this is already good for you, or start to lean the upper body towards the right side. Really anchor down through your front foot and anchor down through your left hip. That's going to help to give you more space in the side. Maybe lift the gaze. Inhale to come up and exhale to release. Nice. So whenever we're able to open the shoulders, open the chest, stretch the sides of the body, that's going to help to boost our energy. We can also do that through a breath practice. I'm going to lead you guys through what is called breath of joy. Does that sound great, right? You already feel better saying it. So what it is a 3-part inhalation and a 1-part exhalation. So the inhalation is through the nose. If it's allergy season, cold, flu season, and that's not happening, you can do it through the mouth, but ideally we want to have the inhalation through the nose. So you'll inhale through the nose 3 times, exhale through the mouth once. That's the most important part. Then we can add in a little bit of fun with the arms. So when you inhale, you take your arms forward. Inhale the second time, the arms come out to the side. Inhale the third time, they come forward again. And then your exhalation takes it all out. It looks a little crazy. Do it. It's fun. Maybe even bring your kids in the room if you have them. So you inhale 1, inhale 2, inhale 3, exhale down. Again. Twice more. Come to a normal breath. Just notice that little zingy, energetic feeling. Let the eyes close and just observe what's happening in the body. And slowly start to let your eyes open if you have them closed. Thank you. Thank you for joining me for this practice. I hope that you get the energy that you need to make it through whatever lies ahead. Have a great day. Namaste.